What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Battle of Central Europe. This is going to be game 2 of the best of 2 we have going between Commanda Minus and AlbumSheet. Currently, the score stands 1-0 in favor of Commanda after running a pretty interesting, huge amount of minus armor strategy here on the HeflaTV Hitbox 1 channel. I'm going to be one of your casters. I'm Mike Loris, and this time I actually have someone with me. It's going to be D Swordfish. How you doing, man? Hello? You know, I thought I had him here. I cannot hear him. So, it looks like I am going to be alone for now until we get all of that ironed out. But, yeah, whenever he arrives, I'm sure he will say something. Yeah, so whatever. We're just going to run with it. Right now, we have ourselves a draft. It's going to be Ogre Magi and Scarith Mage taken out from AlbumSheet, Brew Razor from Commanda. This is going to let AlbumSheet pick up the Death Prophet again if they so choose. And it's going to be a Tidehunter first pick instead. This is going to give Death Prophet to Commanda Minus, and oh wow, they just slammed the Drow Ranger. They're not messing around. Like, they were trying to set up for a Drow Ranger game last game. It didn't quite work out for them because the Visage was banned. But hey, I mean, they get it now. You can't really go wrong with Drow Ranger Visage. And by that, I mean, you can very easily go wrong with Drow Ranger Visage. AlbumSheet don't really have many great tools to counter it for now. I mean, Tidehunter and Viper are decent, but Gust pretty much screws them over. But I don't know about this. Drow Ranger as the first pick is incredibly risky because it lets the enemy team pick up as many blinkers as they could possibly want. And that's bad times for a Drow Ranger. Like, she wants to keep distance, she wants to maintain her marksmanship bonus, and if that doesn't happen, then she's completely screwed. And not only is she completely screwed, a lot of your damage on the team is just gone. D-Sword, are you here?
Yeah, sorry.
He is here.
Just caught the final part of that sentence. Seemed like my Skype was having a little bit of problems, but I'm back here. Hello, D-Sword here. Yeah, I agree with you, by the way. I just got the final part of that, but yeah. The Drow Range has been picked a lot recently, though. I don't know if you saw AG recently play against, I believe it was Cloud9, actually, and they used the Drow Rangers as well. It's actually become quite a popular, well, not popular, but, you know, quite a more common pick. And really, if you can sustain the mobility with her and not get hit by the Viper mainly, I think they should be fine. I mean, they don't even need to put her out there. They can just use her with a Visage in combination, break down towers. They don't even need to engage in fights, play Rat Dota completely. I think that's going to be their strategy, really.
Yeah, it is definitely a possibility. Pick up a Blink Dagger, just stay clear of the Tide and Viper.
Yeah.
That is going to be the best situation on paper. Like, if that could happen, Commanda Minus are going to be so happy about that. But it's going to be up to AlbumSheet to pick up blinkers and heroes that will get close to Drow Ranger, ambush her, pick her off consistently, because really there's nothing more sad than a Drow Ranger that has nothing.
It's true. Honestly, if I was AlbumSheet, I'd pick. If I was Commanda, I'd pick something that can disable blinks. Viper's a great example of Venomancers as well. Any kind of a hero that can really hinder the enemy team's mobility. And that way, Drow Ranger should be a little bit it should not be so much in the crosshairs of the whole other team and not be easy kill. So if I would Command, I would definitely pick something along the lines of Veno. I mean, there's other possibilities, I guess. Anything that disables blinks, like maybe Nurse Shake or some extent, can do that somewhat. Trim Protector is as good as that as well with his Nature's Guise. Touch Heroes. As for AlbumSheet, I don't think you need to concentrate on the Drow too much. With the Tidehunter and the Viper, it should be enough.
Really? You don't think they're going to commit anything else into shutting down that Drow?
I think it's a little bit unsafe because if you pick guys that are just really mobile, perhaps you end up losing a possible late game, and then you have a Drow that's just kind of... Drow will win the late game despite how many mobile heroes you want, you know, so I would definitely have a more stable lineup rather than a lineup concentrated on just countering one hero. That's always unsafe.
I mean, you definitely don't want a tunnel vision on the Drow Ranger, but picking up something like a Morphling, perhaps, maybe not best against the puck, but it's someone who can get close to the Drow Ranger, someone who is very mobile, but is also perfectly fine to carry his own weight. And, well, for right now, it is going to be a Vengeful Spirit for AlbumSheet. I mean, you got to get those supports up, and you don't really want to give a team both Drow Ranger and Vengeful Spirit. That's a dangerous combination, so they're going to be effectively banning that out from Commanda as Commanda once again go for their puck. Last game it was okay, but it does get a little bit better with Drow Ranger on the field.
I mean, the Venge is a really solid pick. I used to be seen competitive because how safe she is, and also talking about the Drow Ranger again, she has that Nether Swap, which is going to kind of destroy her, especially if she gets something like Aghanims, because then she'll just do it every 10 seconds and poof, Drow will be completely nullified. Um, on top of that, the combination of Venge and Viper is actually really scary because you can swap into the Viper and then the Viper will just finish off whoever you've swapped into.
So Commanda, they fourth pick a Bane. Usually you don't see this hero unless there's a reason to pick up this hero,
Yeah.
i.e. you have a Mirana in either as a planned hero or already picked up, or the enemy team has something weird like a Life Stealer, which hasn't really been seen for quite a long time. I don't think we're going to see it this game, especially with Bane already on the field. I think maybe it just might be a Mirana last pick for Commanda. It is going to be a 5 pure ranged hero lineup if that does happen, and what happens then is that your team, they are full of glass cannons. Everyone is going to be doing a truckload of damage, but if a single person gets stunned or if a Ravage lands on 2 or 3, then they're all just dead. So it's a very fragile looking lineup for Commanda. Honestly, they don't really have any great melee tanky heroes to get in front of this. Usually it's something like Tidehunter or a Centaur as the 5th pick, just to add a little bit more peeling power, a little bit more stability as far as health pools are concerned, but this is looking like it's going to be a very fragile lineup for Commanda, especially if they do go for Mirana last.
I agree with you completely. I would think that a Centaur would actually be much more of a wise pick. I mean, with glass cannons, that can work sometimes, but not against a Viper and a Tidehunter. They're like glass cannon, like they destroy them. You can't hit the Viper without dying yourself, and the Tidehunter will ravage you no matter what. That thing has a huge AoE. I really don't think it's the smartest move on their part.
Yeah, it's incredibly risky. I mean, they are 1-0 up, and obviously it's going to be desirable to go 2-0 up, especially against AlbumSheet, who are, before this first game, were undefeated in the group, but they have one loss, not really a huge deal there. AlbumSheet, well, they pick up the Elder Titan with the Vengeful Spirit, maybe going to give Commanda a little bit of their own medicine, as that's what Commanda kind of ran last game. The Slardar is going to be banned out, so Commanda are going to be sure not to face up against too much minus armor. Also, the threat of a blinking Slardar is huge against these very fragile heroes, so that's also a thing. But right now, I mean, if Commanda weren't fragile enough, now they have 0 base armor and 0 magic resistance. Things are going to get really dangerous for these fragile heroes with this Elder Titan in the pool, but it is a very kiteable hero.
Yeah, that's very true. Do you think it's going to be Elder Titan off lane or maybe support? Because I've seen Elder Titan support in the past. Like, it's been slightly popular lately.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about Elder Titan support. I have to get a couple more games seen from him. He was played as support last game, did jack shit, so I mean, I don't really know about if that game was an accurate representation, but I think right now it is going to be a support Elder Titan, unless I mean, obviously the last pick is going to determine that, but for Commanda, it is going to be a Mirana in the end. No tanky heroes in their lineup. They're all going to rely on kiting, and then blink daggers and leaps, and then more kiting in order to keep themselves alive. And AlbumSheet, they don't really have great blink initiators outside of Tidehunter, so it's going to be potentially a little bit difficult actually locking down a particular target, but should they actually manage that lockdown, then Commanda are just completely screwed. So Elder Titan support, Elder Titan core, I think support is actually better in this game since you kind of want another core who can get close very quickly.
I would completely agree. Perhaps, I mean, what are they missing? Oh, there it is. Morphling. Just like you said earlier. I think it's a great pick, honestly. High mobility, high damage, easily destroying glass cannons. It's just the final nail in the coffin, I think. I don't know how I feel about Commanda right now. I'm a little bit concerned for their lineup.
Yeah, I mean, Commanda, they can have a very strong lineup if they play correctly, but the thing is that it is so hard for them to play the strategy that they want to play, whereas for AlbumSheet, they have so much leeway. Like, they have Ravage to fall back on, they have a late game Morphling to fall back on. These things are very, very secure, and if they mess up here or there, it'll be fine. Whereas for Commanda, if they mess up, suddenly 3 heroes are dead, and then they're very far behind, so it's going to be difficult situations in this game for Commanda for sure, but hey, if they pull it off, then they send a pretty strong message to AlbumSheet that, hey, we're just going to run this very fragile lineup, and we're going to beat you with it because we're better. But for right now, we have AlbumSheet currently smoked up as 4, heading down to the bottom lane. Sunlight's going to be playing the Elder Titan with Afterlife following up as the Tidehunter with No Fear on the VS, Chomi on the Viper, and up towards top, we do have Aloha Dance on the Morphling. He's all alone up there, but hold on, they're going to find Insolent perhaps. Oh, Insolent's fine. Everyone's going to be living, at least for now, on Commanda.
No, never mind. He's gonna be okay. Anyway, on is no okay. on for Commander's side, team which honestly I just saw it today. We're gonna have Hawkeye on the. Feel free to correct me if the names are special.
Hell, I have no
We're gonna
idea,
have
man.
Hawkeye on the Marana in the carry position, and joining him will be Poison with the Bane, the support Bane, and mid we're gonna have Kikoni with his Puck. And down bottom, we have Pure Evil with Visage support, accompanying Insolent on the Drow Ranger carry. And yep, that's the command. Tidehunter is now following Pure Evil. Pure Evil is going to be maybe harassed. No, not necessarily. Afterlife is going to try to. Oh no, he's trying to kite to get the creep lane, but he's not going to manage. In fact, he's in a really bad position right now. He's been double slowed. Those frost arrows also been leveled up level 1 just to deal extra damage. I mean, just to slow him a little bit extra. Afterlife is in trouble, but his beautiful anchor smashes are stopping the damage slightly. He's now blocked the creep camp. I mean, good job on Afterlife's part. He's constantly using those anchor smashes, but now Drow just got her damage back. And, oh, that could be a very dead Tidehunter. He used the Tango right at the right second. He's managing to survive. One more hit. Nope, that's going to be a dead Tidehunter. That was the slowest first blood I've ever seen.
At the same time, top lane, Poison getting beaten down by Sunlight. Looks like there's going to be no kill up on top, but honestly, I'm not really sure what the Tidehunter's plan there. Usually you could feel okay about doing those types of things as Tide just because you are so tanky. Odds are you're not going to die, but when you're running into a Drow Ranger and Grave Chill, I mean, shit, that's a lot of slowing. And Tidehunter with Anchor Smash, he's certainly very tanky, as we just saw, but that was kind of suicidal, honestly, from Afterlife. It's going to put the Visage in quite a comfortable position, taking that first blood. He will have enough gold for boots if he wants to buy them, or just save for a flying courier or something like that, but either way, the creeps have spawned again, or the pole camp has spawned, so he didn't even get that done. It's pretty much just a wasted couple of minutes right now for the Tidehunter, as that literally got nothing done for him. But I expect that to be, for the most part, par for the course on this bottom lane. Insolent as the Drow Ranger will be able to poke at Afterlife very securely. Even though Afterlife does have Stout Shield level 1, he will take a lot of damage from this Drow.
Honestly, I think it was his plan was that Drow probably got the Aura Furt as is more common, and I think that was what he's planning. Hopefully, just kite them without the frost arrows, but pros usually save the skill point, so I mean that wasn't smart anyway. But I think that was what his thought process was. Up top now, they're going to Hawkeye. They're trying to stun him. There it is, the stun. Hawkeye is currently in a lot of trouble, but he's going to leap and evade that beautiful Morphling waveform, and Poison is now being harassed, but actually Hawkeye and Poison are both going to get out fine. Wow, that was a great leap. That was beautiful. Right in the last second.
Yeah, but it was a good leap, but at the same time, it was kind of a mistake from AlbumSheet. You generally do want to have the waveform as the killing blow, just first of all to get the Morphling the gold, second of all to get full utility out of your stun, but he held on to it for just a little bit too long. If that waveform did land, another right click surely would have followed, and that would have been the death of the Marana. So maybe a little bit of greed from Aloha Dance and holding that waveform for just a split second too long. If he just waveformed in straight off, then it would have been a Marana kill, and maybe it wouldn't have been Morphling getting the kill, but hell, I would rather have the kill and not have it go on the Morphling than having no kill at all. Poison is going to be set up upon one more time, trying to Nightmare himself. That takes a little bit too long to cast, but middle only, Aloha Dance, he's going to take an arrow for his troubles. He will waveform out defensively, and well, so far Commander, this top lane, doing pretty well for themselves. I mean, they haven't died, which is, I guess, bare minimum of this lane, but even if they just keep this course, even though they are getting out-farmed by the Morphling, really Marana and Bane don't really need that much. Bottom line is Insolence getting farm, and the more farm Drow gets, the better off your other range heroes will be.
That's true. Did you see that, by the way, in the last team fight where we saw Sunlight canceling the Echo Slam?
I did not see that.
Like he almost got it off and then he canceled it. Actually, down bottom, Afterlife is again in trouble. He's being followed by Visage, and there come the Frost Arrows. He's gonna keep using his Anchor Smash, and now he's gonna run mid. He doesn't want the same thing happening again. He's gonna be all right. Oh, he's running him back in, actually, to fight Pure Evil. Man to man. Afterlife wants to kill. He has an Anchor Smash. That's going to do a lot of damage. Pure Evil has reduced armor as well. Reduced damage now. And the Frost Arrow is coming over again. Afterlife realizing he's in too deep for himself, and he's being hit by the Frost Arrows. No help from mid. And again, the slowest chase ever ensues as... Oh, he's going to die with that final hit from the Soul Assumption.
Man, Afterlife is just getting way too comfortable, but up towards top, we have Chomi incoming with a Haste Rune. Level 3 Poison attack. You cannot escape from this unless you straight TP out, and it looks like Poison will live, and Marana will also live, so I guess you can't escape from that Viper. It's straight TP back towards the middle lane, and, well, so far we've just seen Afterlife kind of just getting in over his head consistently. I mean, you generally can't play like this as a Tidehunter. You will I guess, face up against only a dual lane, which is, I suppose, not the worst case scenario for Tides in general, but still, this is a level 3, or it was level 2 Frost Hours we're talking about. That movement speed differential is huge, not to mention the Grave Chill, not to mention this whole Assumption. Tidehunter honestly just playing really fast and loose down the bottom lane, and he's certainly paying the price. Anchor Smash and Kraken Shell can only get you so far, especially when he's gone for 1 point in Gush. Like, turning around for that Visage was incredibly greedy.
The point in Gush itself is incredibly greedy. Now he can't take Ancient Farm yet because of that lack of level in Kraken Shell. I don't really understand Afterlife's point. Like, he was not going to kill the Visage. Obviously, Drow isn't, you know, he's not that slow that he's not going to be able to help his support out. I really don't understand what the thought process was there. I don't know. He's really the weak link right now within AlbumSheet's team. Blech.
Yeah, it shouldn't really be the case either. Tidehunter should pretty much have no deaths, maybe one at this stage if a Tidehunter was a little bit less suicidal, but playing like this certainly is not what you want to give Commanda. As we said, they have a very fragile lineup. They have a lineup that is very delicate in how it's actually going to perform. If you give them a little bit of leeway, they're going to take a mile middle only. He's going to take a hit with an arrow, but the nice two-man stomp onto both Poison Hawkeye is going to instantly kill off the Bane with the waveform. Actually, Vengeful Spirit gets that kill, and Mirana does leap out, but hey, AlbumSheet, they turn it around. Aloha Dance takes a little bit of damage, but he will survive in the end. Afterlife now with help of Chomi, going to try to chase down Pure Evil, but we saw what happened last time, Tidehunter. Don't get in over your head. He's going to secure the rune for the Viper, and well, he's going to turn around for a Gush, but now he's completely out of mana, and now he just has to base. Afterlife really has to calm down. I mean, he's fighting the Visage, which is nice, I suppose, but he's constantly running low on mana, even running low on health, and he's just wasting so much time walking back and forth between the lane and the fountain.
It's a support. It's Visage. It's support. He's gonna get like Visage has an ease farming with his familiars. You're not gonna, and that's if you want farm on the support. Like, you're definitely not being useful. He's not following the Drow. He's taking away his supports farm. That's not that great of an accomplishment. So I really don't understand I really don't know. Like, I think he wanted the Viper to follow him up top, by the way. No Fear's been hit by that Nightmare, and the arrow coming out as well, but there comes the Morphling. Aloha Dance wants to kill. No Fear's gonna die first, and Poison is being harassed now by Aloha Dance. He's gonna go down as well to the Morphling. Now it's Mirana versus Morphling. She's trying to get a good leap out. Oh, she's gonna get the leap in the last second. 2 more hits would have done it. And, well, that's actually a pretty nice trade, actually, for the AlbumSheet team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They need the Morphling to get as much as possible. And Mirana, who got the kill? Mirana did get the kill, which is, you know, it's nice for the Mirana for sure. But really, these kills on Mirana don't really matter that much, as she will not make too good use of them. Chomi in the mid lane, and a little bit of damage being thrown back and forth. But the Viper with 2 points in the Corrosive is going to be happy to shrug that one off. 3-2 now as AlbumSheet gets a little bit more of a foothold in this game. And as you saw, Commanda, they are performing pretty well for this stage. But with their lineup, they have to be kind of performing like this, except a little bit better for the rest of the game. And bottom lane, Afterlife, he got a little bit too close to the Drow Ranger, and this is a Drow Ranger with marksmanship. This is going to be a free kill for Insulin. The Tidehunter, like, he wasn't playing this poorly last game. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Some people just he's playing on tilt. He got the first kill, which was understandable to some extent. And then I guess he's just kind of on tilt now. That could be. That's my assumption. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Afterlife is a good player. I've seen him play several times. AlbumSheet had a perfect score up until the beginning of this day, and now they're just falling apart, it seems. Pure Evil going to be chased down by No Fear. There is boots on both of these heroes. Vengeful Spirit slightly faster, but the corner is working for the Visage just a little bit more. No Fear really wants this magic missile. Holy crap, does he want this magic missile. He's going to get it, but can they actually follow through with this? They can't land any poison on him. Viper's coming with phase, but now Kokoni has an opportunity for a coil, although he doesn't have it for another 6 seconds. Afterlife does not have a Ravage, only level 5. Echo Stomp, going to land a poison Pure Evil. Viper immediately going to wake up the Bane, and we'll kill him off, but now a 3-man coil onto Sunlight. Afterlife and No Fear won't really matter, though, because Chomi's the one that he wasn't caught, and now he's just going to go to town on everyone, buying a little bit more space for his allies to wake up and get the hell out of here. But here comes Drow Ranger from the side. It's going to be not Afterlife to take a fall. It's going to be No Fear and Chomi going to get gusted right back into Kokoni and Pure Evil, and they're very quickly going to be brought down. That's a 2-for-1, I believe, in favor of the Commanda side. Drow Ranger rotating in, and Pure Evil still being chased down by Afterlife. Afterlife, we've seen this a couple of times before. Previously, they haven't worked out for him, but I think this might be that one time where it works. He's going to get the kill. It's about freaking time.
Well, I mean, 1 out of 3 times. You know, they say third time's a charm. I guess it worked for him.
And then he's going to die twice more and then get another kill. Doesn't seem like a good way to play Dota.
Well, you know, at least he gets the kill. That's how Russians play sometimes. What can I say? EU West. That gust, by the way, by Insolent was beautiful. That was a really good gust. He did it right at the point, right when they were going close to him. So he just kind of pushed them away back into the fight. I loved it personally. He's playing a really good game, and he also went for the triple Wraith Band build, which reminds me of old pub days.
Yeah, it is, kind of a pub-looking build, but at the same time, it's one of
It's
the
really
more
effective.
cost-effective ways of increasing your agility. Straight going for a Yasha thereafter is going to mean that Insolent is going to hit like a truck, and not only he is going to hit like a truck, everyone on the team is going to hit like a truck. Plus 25 on everyone. Middle only is going to try to go for poison up towards top. He might have enough damage to actually get this kill, not with the Enfeeble. Now stars are going to fall. Middle only, Aloha Dance is going to be just fine as the Spirit does get thrown. And it looks like that should be end of it up on top lane. But yeah, that Gust, you rarely see Gust being used to reposition enemies. It's just usually a panic tool, like, oh shit, they're right on top of me. I might as well Gust and try to run away. Not that time. You rarely are in a position to do it as Dry Ranger, first of all, but when you are, it is very rarely seen. But yeah, Dry Ranger's certainly delivering. 203, she has all the agility she could possibly want. If she finds anyone, I'm pretty sure they're just dead. Like, maybe not this
Oh,
hasted Rune
Afterlife.
Tidehunter, who is going to be
No,
caught
he has
between a rock and a
haste,
hard
though.
place. Oh, Afterlife. He has a Ravage. He's gonna maybe intercept a courier. Needs 2 hits, though, to kill it.
Where is
Oh,
he going? Where's his plan?
I have no idea what Afterlife is doing in this game in general. Like, he's just on some sort of next level. Now he ran out of haste, and now he's just completely screwed. Like, he has a Ravage, but you can't get away from that. What was
What was his plan
what
there? I
was
don't know what.
that?
That's exactly the path. Yeah.
There's nothing over there. Chomi in the mid lane is going to get coiled, but he will straight TP out and will be just fine. Can't really afford to be going for plays like that. Good of the Viper to recognize his safety. But, Album Sheet, I didn't expect when I was talking about their draft to have them play with this disadvantage of the Tidehunter, who seemingly doesn't want to play this game anymore. I mean, they're going to go for Tier 1 tower mid, and, well, Fortification is there. Koni will get himself out. Gust onto No Fear will slow them down even further. And this will be a tower deny for Album Sheet. Given the defeating Tidehunter, they desperately need that deny, but Tidehunter in the bottom lane, oh please, no, not just the Visage. Visage is going to get vengeance. Afterlife is going to get smashed by the Visage. Oh my god. Like, this is just disgusting, and also kind of a little bit sad.
I think Afterlife. I mean, I think he needs to compose himself. I really do. Like, he's just a little bit stressed out. It just seems like that to me. Like you said, he's not a bad player, so he's just a little bit off. Oops, actually up top. Sorry, I missed that. But all that's gonna get picked off by the combination of Mirana and the Bane again.
Yeah, it was mostly just
And
Insolent closing the distance and then laying into him with the Frost Arrows, and this Dry Ranger hitting for 200 a pop 12 minutes into the game is,
it's huge.
yeah, one of the highest damaging heroes you're ever going to see outside of
Well,
just pub feeding.
Look, yeah. Look at the Bane though. He's almost hitting for 100. No, he is hitting for more than 100 right now. 104 specifically. Like every single hero on the team is hitting really hard because of Insolent's super amazing Wraith Band build. Like it's really smart actually. He's got cheap agility, which enhances aura, which is almost level 4. It's gonna be really like a strong push now, which means that every kill they get, they can maximize to their full potential because they can take a tower if they get like 2 or 3 kills easily.
Yeah, and I think in this game it's better more so than usual, as for Album Sheet, their supports, VS and Elder Titan, I mean, they're fine. The Elder Titan is kind of a weak-ish support. VS is pretty decent, but overall the early game from Album Sheet isn't quite there. So right now they're using the Dry Ranger not as insurance for the late game, but as insurance for the early game, just giving everyone so much damage, and if they take an early game lead, then at that point, Commanda have a lot more leeway with their draft. Yeah, they could die a couple more times, and they'll be just fine to absorb those losses because they have so much damage and because they are so far ahead from the get-go. Like, even Mirana is going to get in on this Wraith Band build. They're going to set up mid lane, or top lane rather. Arrow's going to whiff, but here comes Insolent from the side. Gotta watch out for Magic Missile, still one of the most threatening skills, but their Gust is going to land onto No Fear. Mirana is going to lend a hand as well. Insolent's going to very easily clean up the Vengeful Spirit. Nothing that the VS could do. And, oh, in the meantime, Tidehunter died. I should not be surprised about that anymore.
Wow, what happened there? I didn't even see. Puck killed him. Yeah. Well, okay, he used a Dream Coil though, to be fair. So I mean,
I mean, it's a ultimate invested for a Tidehunter. I'm sure the Tidehunter will be right back up with a Ravage and threatening to defend top lane soon enough. But here comes the Visage. The Bird's also going to get quite a bit of damage. If they land a single stun onto any of these heroes, they're just going to die. But then Pure Evil just going to straight TP out. Realizing he got a little bit too far. Hey, it's going to be on the bottom lane where Aloha Dance is going to get gripped. And now the physical damage is going to come through. He does not have any mana to do anything. And he's going to get brain sapped almost for the finishing blow. Puck going to take that one. But this is getting very quickly out of hand for Album Sheet. Like we said, this is a very fragile lineup for Commanda as far as how they have to play this out. But they're getting so much leeway, and that's not even like it's just like
Oh,
yeah,
what? GG
I don't blame
already?
them. They're clearly
Okay.
not playing up to scratch.
Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of an issue. I guess they weren't playing that great, but like they could definitely come back from that one if they started playing a little bit better.
I think if we had like a 5-minute pause for them to just cool their
Yeah, yeah,
heads,
yeah.
then they would be able to come back and, you know, have a better showing. But this is just not the album sheet that was playing in the last game, nor was it the album sheet that was playing the day before. So Command Minus, they now take first place in the group unless something really weird is going on in the other set, which I don't believe is happening because their game is actually still going. So we are one full game ahead of the other stream, guys. But thanks for watching. This is the rather disappointing finish to Commanda versus Album Sheet. Commanda take a 2-0, and that's going to put them in the lead in the group. There should be another game at about 25 minutes, and I will keep the stream running until then. So until then, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit this follow button so you can get notified, although I don't know how much we're going to use this in the future. Thanks for tuning in to the Battle of Central Europe. And game number, the next set is going to be, who is it going to be? I think we're actually going to follow Command Minus, so it's going to be them versus, I want to say Lions. That is not the right. It is going to be them versus Lions, so stay tuned for
Right.
that, guys. That's going to be coming up at 12:18 CT.